Well, I grew up in this neighborhood, Rondo community. My mother still stays 5 blocks from here, and so I was at that time. We okay? At that time, going through uh, a separation with my wife, and had just moved out of the house in March of 2013. 2 weeks after that, my little brother had died in my arms at 33 years of age, and a month after that, I had got a letter from the Carondelet Centers where we were originally renting space for our church in St. Kate's campus, stating that it was no longer financially advantageous for them to accommodate us, and they're really not built for, you know, a church kind of setup. And so they gave us a 90-day notice, thankfully, to find a new place. And so I would go on these night walks, and I would come and I would walk like up Fisk and cut over like Laurel and then cut up Grotto, because I would go sit on the steps of Summit, I mean not Summit, River of Life Church right here on Summit in Grotto. And I walked by and I saw that something was new, something looked different. And I was like, look at these lights. It's like a little Broadway show or something. And I was like, I remember saying to myself, I would love to worship here. And this particular night was, you know, drawing close to, I think we were probably about 7 days from having, or maybe even 2 weeks from having to find a place. I had already been to 30 churches in 10 days. So I went home after that, woke up in the morning, and I would always have coffee with my mother. And we were having, you know, sitting at the table talking, and she said, what do you think of that white church over there? That's right there behind River of Life. She's like, you should go up in there and ask them. I said, I was just walking past it. So I walked in. I think it was like a challenge camp, and Hannah was there, Robert Isaac and his daughter. She was doing the challenge camp, and here's this black guy coming in. It's a whole room full of white kids, and they're looking up and kind of whatever. And I walked through the hall, past the center room, and arrive at the front desk and see none other than my godmother, Marcy Mann. And I was just like, what are you doing here? She said, what are you doing here? She said, I work here. And it was Barbara Hubbard and Lisa Freeman that were there. Rob and Jan were on sabbatical at the time. And I said, well, I'm looking to talk to somebody about renting some space here. And Marcy turns to Barbara and Lisa and says, this is my godson I was telling you about, that's a pastor. And so we go in the center room and talk, and I share my story. And, you know, we had this kind of bonding, intimate moment, and Barbara and Lisa said, listen, we're going to make this work. And they sent an email to Rob and Jan, who were in Europe at the time, that, hey, there's this church that we're sharing space with. Trust us. Basically, we'll see you when you get back. And that started the relationship.